Oh, Rod, I think we've got a long way to go. I mean, it'd be naive of me to say that, quite frankly. I think this is the first of the healing process. And I think that the great thing is this, that both Alan Piper and I have always had one intention, that is the success of this club. So if those intentions continue on and we can lead by example, then the problems are capable of being solved. What you don't want is a substructure somewhere who are about to destroy that realliance. And so I suppose, given what I've said, I am confident it can occur, but this is a healing process, I agree.
A changing of the guard at the top of the tree at the Brisbane Lions camp, and let's hope that healing process is not too long. They have had plenty of strife, and it's been well documented in recent weeks. As we welcome you to the Gabba under lights. Good evening, everyone, as round 20 continues, and welcome once again to footy's home ground. This is the battle for the prize that nobody wants to win, the wooden spoon, between the Brisbane Lions, who are probably, at the moment, favourite to take the spoon, and the Hawthorn Footy Club, the mighty Hawks, who haven't been down the bottom since the mid-60s. The Brisbane Lions have been ravaged by injuries this season. One man also out tonight is Shaun Hart, but he's down on the boundary line, chatting with Dipper.
Yeah, thanks very much, Andy. Well, Shaun Hart, unfortunately, not playing tonight, and the reason why?
Oh, I just hurt a hamstring last week, Dipper.
He started off so well last week. A little bit disappointed to be out of tonight's game.
Yeah, we were very close, during most of last week's game. It was disappointing to have to sit there and watch, particularly through the midfield. It would have been great to have an extra guy out there to share the workload a bit.
It's been a rollercoaster ride for the Lions this year, isn't it?
It has. It's been one of those horror seasons that no team likes to go through, but certainly been a learning experience, Dipper.
Now, Roger, throughout the week, has he mentioned anything about the wooden spoon? I mean, you don't want to finish last on the league ladder?
No, certainly, I suppose that's in the back of many people's minds. But tonight, hopefully, we can put together a four-quarter effort with a bit of a blistering start and take the points tonight, and at least get off the bottom for the time being, and then take some good form into the last couple of weeks.
What's been the problem this year? Like, obviously, a lot of players have had injuries.
Yeah, there's been a few injuries, but attitude has a lot to do with it. We need to really address our attitude towards what we want to get out of this game, and we need to do that heavily over the summer and prepare for a new season and a new chance to take some more ascendancy and get back up that ladder.
And the attitude's so important too, because obviously throughout the week you want to get up and win the last two games.
Yeah, no doubt. I think it's a vital part to finish off a year well, no matter whether you're playing the finals or not. I think it's a great springboard for the following year, and I think a lot of players will be looking personally to good finishes so they can platform for next year. Well,
thanks for joining us on Channel 7, and good luck tonight against the Hawks.
Thanks a lot, Dipper.
Thank you, Dipper. Yes, I think there's also a little thing called pride that may play a fairly big part in tonight's clash. You don't have to be Einstein to see where these two are at the bottom of the ladder. It's been mentioned over the weeks many, many times. There they are, the cellar dwellers, Hawthorn at 5-14, the Brisbane Lions 4-14-1. Already round 20 has produced some interesting results with the Western Bulldogs in second spot, Sydney in the third, and after this short message, Lee Matthews and Matty Campbell will be back to have a look at these two sides battling it out tonight.
The 1998 AFL Premiership season brought to you by Telstra, making life easier. Victoria Bitter for a hard-earned thirst. Cadbury Mark of the Year, McDonald's Double Quarter Pounder with cheese, and Mitsubishi Motors, the award-winning Magna.
Well, Matty, certainly Hawthorn have beat final eight teams Richmond and St Kilda in the last 2 weeks. They're in good form. How do you think the Brisbane team's feeling going into this contest?
Yeah, Lee, it's interesting, isn't it? The commitment last week against North Melbourne was better, as we see Nigel Lappert on screen there, and congratulations to Nigel, his 100th game, becoming the youngest Brisbane player to play 100 games, surpassing his captain, Michael Voss. So they're looking, Lee, to carry that form of last week, or their attack on the body and the ball into this week. But let's not forget, they have lost 4 in a row and some big defeats in that form.
What do you think needs to happen for them to win? Who are the players that really need to produce?
Well, Steve Lawrence has been named on the left of the screen down back, and he kicked 5 goals up forward last week, so I don't think Roger Merritt will be able to leave him down there.
Yeah.
And Clark Keating's named on the interchange bench. Matty Clark will have his hands full with Paul Salmon, so Keating has a role to play tonight, whether it's taking marks up forward or around the ground.
Yeah, well, certainly the Hawthorn team, they were terrific last week. They absolutely demolished St Kilda, so they had a great win. And certainly Shane Crawford there. Well, he ran a little bit over 16 kilometres last week in his duel with Robert Harvey. And would you believe Robert Harvey somehow ran 3 kilometres more? Not too many observers could believe the numbers, but that's how much ground that those hard-running midfielders cover. certainly the Hawthorn team, I think the last couple of weeks they've found a way to score since Jason Dunstall has been out. That's dried up a little. Ward kicked 6, Holland 3 and Dixon 3, and certainly they're going to be important. I think Mark Graham at fullback's really important. He is their key defender. Nick Holland at centre-half forward, but they've been in pretty good form the last couple of weeks, so they're certainly going to go into this game with great confidence that they can go back with the 4 points, make it 3 in a row. We'll go to a short break, and then we'll go back and just see how they go.
Welcome back to Saturday Night Football here on 7, almost a balmy night. Current temperature of around 18 degrees, touch of humidity in the air, down to 15. But it's a night we're looking forward to between these two sides. Both have been ravaged by injury, in fact, this season. And so it's going to be survival of the fittest. One man who is very fit and on the boundary line. And he's watching his old side wear black armbands tonight because Kelvin Moore, one of the greats of Hawthorn, sadly lost his father Max during the week. And Dipper, you're on the boundary. Good evening and welcome.
Yeah, thanks very much, and commiserations to the Moore family, and we'll miss him dearly. For Brisbane Lions on the bench is Richard Champion, Luke Power, Shane O'Brien and Tim Nottin. I haven't caught up with the Hawthorn benches yet, but as you mentioned before, the conditions are absolutely beautiful out here, and looking forward to a great game. I know that after speaking to Sean Hart that the Brisbane Lions are all about attitude on the ground tonight, and the Hawks, pressure. The two words, attitude and pressure tonight.
Dipper, you owned the wing at Glen Ferry for a long time, so you'll be very unbiased. Who are you tipping?
I'm going for the Hawks.
What about the breeze, Dipper? How's the breeze down there?
Actually, Matty, I was expecting the breeze to be quite strong, but it's not. It's only going down towards the Vulture Street end there, but it's certainly not a breeze was going to win a game for anybody.
Well, Matty Clark won the toss, and you can see by that flag there's perhaps a little in it above the ground, but we'll just have to wait and see. There is Clark. He won the toss, is kicking to the right of screen. He's got the job ahead of him tonight because Paul Salmon has been in good touch and has declared that he is going to go again this year. Here's Crawford getting the first touch, effective touch of the night. And it's a chance now for the Hawks to defend. Treleaven gets the hand pass away. They've been most impressive the last couple of weeks as the kick by Graham goes up towards centre wing. Scott was in the thick of things. Ashcroft down underneath, gets the hand pass away. The Scott boys combine. This is Chris coming back towards centre wing, and Leppich takes the mark. He's got players streaming down the ground either end. The lead was on from Lawrence. He was unable to take the mark. The hand pass heads towards the boundary line. Overrun. Lawrence goes again. This time he's forced to defend. It's pushed over the line. And there will be a throw in. There's Richard Champion, the senior member on the Lions bench tonight. There's been so much happening in the Lions den, and I'll be speaking with Matty at half-time about that. In the meantime, Salmon tried to get the hand pass out. Now there was an infringement there, and it's going to go the way of Scott, and he's going to take it on centre wing. This is Chris. Looks in towards centre half forward again. That was a better kick, and a good mark too taken by Keating.
Important player for Brisbane, Keating. I think he's their best centre-half forward, probably, if he's fit and well.
Well, he's let that one go from 50 metres, but he's gone away to the right. First score of the Knights are behind, going to the Lions.
As we see the Hawthorn bench. But you mentioned Keating, and he was mentioned on the interchange bench. He started well. He is a little bit underdone, Lee. He didn't get a lot of the football last week, so it'll be hard. The kick in from the Hawks to the outer side. Harford to the centre wing, kicking long. Looking for the mark there was Crode. Also with him is Bradshaw. Chris Scott. Looks like Chris Scott will play on Crawford. There's Crawford. Off the ground. Back in towards the middle. Brad Boyd takes the mark from that off-the-ground kick by Crawford. Boyd has not played a lot of footy, but has managed to string three together. Up towards Lawrence. Can't mark. Over the back was Taylor. Taylor to clear. Goes directly down the middle of the ground. Up they go, look, backing back in there was Dixon, the spoil. Crode can't pick it up. Boyd again, this time back to McRae. McRae with his long left foot kick inside the 50, looking for Leppich. Graham with him, spoils again. Comes to Johnny Hassel. Handballs off to Crawford. Many possessions last week, Crawford. Up to his brother and Justin. But he can't take possession, and it wanders over the boundary line.
Matty, just catching up with the Hawthorn bench. You've got Brendan Crummell, Lloyd, Barker and Obst.
I think I saw Jason Dunstall behind that arm there. He's up here to watch his Hawks, and let's hope that he is going to at least get one game before the season's end. Kennedy defends for the Brisbane Lions, gets a kind bounce, then kicks it back towards half forward once again. The Hawthorn defence are going to be tested out with this breeze early on. That's good, solid work. Now here's a chance for the Lions. Leppich on the lead. One grab. Couldn't complete it. Recovers. Swings around now and snaps towards goal, but pushes it across the face, and there's another behind. 2 on the board to the Brisbane Lions in the opening minutes.
Jumped into the game all right, haven't they, Brisbane? Certainly the couple of times it's gone to Hawthorn's half-forward line, it's been repelled. Certainly the Kennedy duel with Holland's going to be very important. That centre-half forward spot, if the centre-half back gets on top, it will help Brisbane immeasurably.
Head-to-head, it's certainly gone Hawthorn's way, 15-4, but here at the Gabba, it's Brisbane who's won 3 out of 5 against them. Kennedy was the high flyer from behind. Holland is waiting down in front for the Hawks, but he can't pick it up. The door again opens for Kennedy. Loses it. Bamford goes with him. Got to give the hand pass away to Keating. No, he decides to take the kick. Darryl White wasn't quite in position, and in his attempt to get the ball has given away the free kick. I'd like to see him turn one on tonight. The Enigma machine, but when he's hot, he's very, very hot, Matty.
He certainly is, and I think along with Winston Abraham, the 2 best high flyers in the game. They've transferred the play to Crode. Crode swings it out to the outer side. McCabe leads in the race for the ball. He's got some space. Waits for Picken to get to him, then gives off to Crawford. Crawford now inside the 50, looking for a high mark. Up they go. The spoil comes to ground. Chance for the Hawks. It's Dixon. Swings onto his left foot. Kicks him just inside 50. Dixon goes long, but just hooks it. And only a behind to Ben Dixon, who, as you mentioned before the game, Lee, has become a good forward for them. With Dunstall out, Dixon's another option.
Well, Dixon and Lloyd, they're the Dixon and Aaron Lord, not Lloyd, Lord, are actually the 2 main medium-sized goal kickers for Hawthorn. They and Nick Holland, they're the 3 players that are going to kick the bulk of Hawthorn's score. So, yeah, they'd be looking for 2 or 3 from each of those just to give them a basis of their overall score.
McRae looks for Clark. It goes over the back. Umpire pays the push, and Nick Holland to receive the free kick. Holland, quick give off to Taylor. Taylor into the path and coming over the top. Can't quite mark it as Bradshaw. It comes to Chick. Chick's handball over the top to Jade Rawlings. Rawlings the kick and the goal. Hawks get the first.
Jade Rawlings gets only his 3rd goal for the season, but a good start for the Hawks. If you've just tuned in, they're kicking into a slight breeze here at the Gabba. 5-point margin as Salmon and Clark go again, won by the former. Boyd can't take it away initially for the Lions, but he just tries to paddle it out to accommodate McRae. Crode's got his measure, and he does well. Kick is not very effective, however, and it's marked by Scott. This is Brad Scott going towards, again, his brother, who takes it almost on centre wing. The hand pass went straight into the man on the mark. He may get the opportunity to recover. Goes over the top of Crawford. McRae comes in to lend support. Gets it away to Bradshaw. Still on the defensive side of centre wing. He backpedals, and they're back where they started again with Scott. He goes into the middle and finds Clark. You've got a couple of options. Running down the wing is Bamford. If it sits, he's going to be in business. He gets a cruel bounce. He's going to have to go again. Can go over the top, and he does. The old 1-2. It's back again, this time to Lappin. He's playing his 100th game, and we wish him well. Lappin kicks towards Leppich at full forward. Salmon was there to affect the spoil. Crawford is there also, but he overruns it. Still a chance for the Lions. Tristan Lynch is in there too. Can't pick it up, and the umpire comes in to officiate. The umpires tonight are Gavin Della, Scott McLaren, and Stuart Wen. So we've got a police officer, a pharmacist and a banker. So if you're a crook and you want a loan, go and see the cops.
It's a recipe
We
for
can do a lot of
disaster.
things with the umpires tonight. Looks like Brisbane are dropping Brad Scott back as just a spare player behind the ball at this point. Just at that last centre bounce, he was alone. At the moment, Lekis is up the other end for Hawthorn.
Hassel will run the ball out for the Hawks outside his defensive 50 into the middle. They run well, the Hawks. Robbins run up the ground looking for Dixon. Does he mark it? He does. Dixon swings onto his left again. The lead is on. It's over the top of Rawlings.